There's the Hilton, there's the Plaza, and there's the Elon Tower. All the stuff. There's the Monterey. Yes. I don't have bias. Wait a second. This is the little where like you guys go down and go up to the mountain. That's the whole
You surrounded already.
Explanation what you see here. They get a view of, first of all, the mountain on your right with a tower, that is Har Basin. The one in back of that, next to it is Har Sofim, or Mount Scopus, and in the middle where you see the wall, that is Yerushalayim. You see the wall of Yerushalayim, you see the dome, which is the location where the Beis HaMikdash was, and if you have a good eye on the right of it is a black dome, which is the other mosque. We are looking at Yerushalayim now from the south, and at the time of the second Beis HaMikdash, this was the main way that people used to come. Because the city came down all that slope outside the wall all the way to the bottom, and people would go up to Beis HaMikdash climbing up. On your right, you have the village on the slope, which is the village of Shiloah. Incidentally, this mountain also has to do with Beis HaMikdash, because the aqueduct that brought water from Beis Lechem went around this mountain. This mountain is called Jebel Mukhtar, and around this mountain you have an aqueduct and a tunnel, which then later went to our left along the slope there and brought the water to the Beis HaMikdash.
Yeah, the right one. The right one's tower. That's Har Basin. And there in the background, that's Har Sofim. What's that building right there? Where? That's a French hill. This kind of mountain, and it's all about mountains. They do a lot of valleys on the way. But some people who live in the valley, they went up. Check any of the drive. We stopped in at Shmona, we checked any streets in the front, we had problems. I don't know that either. I think, and until June, I was never safe.
Yeah. No?
Where we going? That's how we get our education.
No.
How far can you go?
2 more minutes.
Sure.
Here we go now. Yeah, everything's okay. It's like Candyland, it's like implant.
That's the opposite. I'm looking for them too. So which piece is that? Basket? No, this is married to the rock.
Look,
Got the camera to month before.
look, ik ben niet op maken. Ken, mooi. Zo.
Bow down to him. So everybody asked him, they said, Alexander, you, the great, the mighty king that you are, you bow down to this Jew? So he says, nah, he says, every time I win a war, and he tells him this year he's going to die. So I asked him, how'd you know? He says, because every year I walk into Kodesh HaKadoshim, a white malach walks in with me, and he walks out with me. This year a black tovel, there's a mikveh there, how they used to tovel the dead in the mikveh, and the Kvarim itself.
Right there.
What? לא, סליחה. I made a mistake. Yeah, we're now in a place called Wadi Joz, otherwise known as Nachal HaGoz, the Wadi of the Nut, and we'll be able to turn around. And here were big battles during the 6-Day War.
Harvey, what you doing?
It's more expensive.
אני
רגע, זה מה. עומר!
Very so.
אני לא מסכים, חבור, כבוד הרב. שאלה מכבודה.
Thank you very much, Shelton.
Did they refill the bottle there?
It goes back to the Coca-Cola pharmacy, and they wash it out.
What's that about?
Take it to you get back to town.
What's the matter, Helen?
Stay fresh and busy. Stay fresh and busy.
Not too long.
أنا تيرا واحد مشاكل تيرا عم استعمل كبود الرب.
لا
סלם אותי, הרב. אני סלם אותי.
I'm keeping one of them. You keep one.
أنا سلوك عباد.
אחי, לך לדודה תראה אם הוא שמה ואני אעמוד כאן. אני פה. רוץ.
We're not capable of finding out about Israel except through the newspaper or the radio. That's no way to find out about Israel. That's no way to find out about anything. Amcha, the people here, have a good sense of what is wrong with the country and what has to be done with the country, and far more and far better than the 119 other people in Knesset. They understand what has to be done. And if you would have been there, you would have seen how much support there really is for the Kahana. I want to speak to you very, very briefly about something before I even begin talking about some of the issues that face Jews here. I want to speak to you about yourself. That's the most important thing in the world, to yourself. You young people, most of you come from the Galut. And most of you, unfortunately, will not only go back to the Galut, but you will, unfortunately, probably stay there. Now, so I want to speak to you about Jewish values and halachic values that all too often are not given to you in the yeshivot. Of course, a religious Jew has to keep Shabbat. Of course, certainly it's understood. Eat kosher food. Of course, has to daven and brachot and all those things which you all do. But that's not the end of Judaism. In fact, that isn't even the beginning. It's not even the beginning. The Talmud tells us, the Gemara tells us in Malko, very, very last daf, Moshe Rabbeinu received 613 mitzvot. And then it says, this Navi came, this Navi came, Shayahu, Amos, and so on. And each one narrowed them down until Chabakuk, a Navi, came. And he took all the mitzvot and he put them on one mitzvah, one foundation, and that's the foundation of all of the mitzvot. And what is that mitzvah? It's Tzaddik be'emunato yichyeh. And the righteous shall live by his faith. Emunah, faith. Sometimes when I go back to the States, and I see how Orthodox Jews live, I don't even talk about the other Jews, I mean Orthodox, people who consider themselves to be good Jews. Is there anything in a modern Orthodox Jew's life which requires faith? To keep Shabbat in America doesn't require faith. It's a 5-day work week. Anyhow, nobody works Shabbat. Nobody has to work Shabbat. To eat kosher food doesn't require any faith and any sacrifice. They have OU and OK, and who knows what else they have. Everything. ABC and XYZ, who knows what kind of. They have everything is kosher, and everything is glad kosher, and everything is glad, and everything is not difficult. You don't need faith. You don't have to make sacrifices to keep kosher. You don't have to make sacrifices on Shabbat. There's already an Eruv in every single neighborhood. As soon as I heard that they were starting to put up an Eruv in every single neighborhood, I knew that the Jews were definitely staying in America. That's the question of emunah, of faith, arises dafkin specifically in those mitzvot that require deep sacrifice, real sacrifice. Mitzvot that are demanded of us, and that because they are so difficult, we find some way not to observe. We find some head there. Well, that you don't have to. For example, Aliyah. What in the world are 600,000 observant Jews, from Jews, doing in America? Do you know if those 600,000 Jews were here in Israel? Do you know what a change would take place in this country? So every religious Jew in America that sits kvetching about how bad it is in Israel. Israel's not strong enough. Israel doesn't do this right. Don't sit on Long Island and kvetch. And don't sit in Los Angeles and kvetch. And don't sit in Boston and kvetch. If it's so bad, come to Eretz Israel and change it. Just by sheer numbers, you would create here a different country. So why don't Jews come here? Forget all the reasons that they do. Well, that's all baloney. That's all nonsense. The real and only reason why Orthodox Jews who live in America don't come here is because it's hard here and it's easy there. And all the other reason that they give, that's stam gebet, that's just an excuse. Where in the world did we ever hear that because a mitzvah is different? Of course it's difficult to live in. Of course it is. Very, very difficult to live in. Asma, so what? So what? You mean to say that if a conservative Jew tells you, I would like to keep Shabbos, but it's so hard, you would say, no, he's right, it's hard. You would tell him, what do you mean it's hard? Do it! Well, that's exactly what every Jew here says to you. What are you doing? What do you mean it's hard? Of course it's hard. Do you think that the Kodesh Baruch Hu gave us easy mitzvahs? He didn't give us anything easy. Cheap things come cheap. Difficult things, precious things, come with great difficulty. That's a mitzvah. That's a commandment. You have to climb the mountain. It's easy to fall off the mountain. Jump the mountain, and you're down. Climbing a mountain, rising, is very, very hard. That's one area. Second area. Ahavat Yisrael, the love of a Jew for a second. Now, I know that if I went around this room and I asked everybody, tell me, you love Jews? Everybody would say, of course I love Jews. No one here would say, I don't love them. Everybody would say, anybody can love Jews if it doesn't cost you a thing. It doesn't cost you anything to love Jews. Say it, I love Jews. Big deal. Loving Jews means giving of yourself for Jews. We have tremendous tragedies today. Jews in the Soviet Union. You think that everything is fine now? Now there's a new policy, a new dictator, everything is fine. Nothing is fine. Nothing has changed. Last night I met with some 30 Soviet Jews, leaders who had been leaders of the movement in the Soviet Union. We're sitting and talking about how dafka now we have to start demonstrating, protesting. No one here is that old that he can remember when the real struggle began for Soviet Jews. Anyone who here is 14, 15, 16 doesn't remember, because he wasn't born, how 20 years ago no one knew there was a Soviet Jewish question. Nobody demonstrated. Nobody protested. Nobody did anything. It took a group of young people from JDL, which had just been formed, who went out in the streets against everything. They were against everything. Not only against the Russians, they were against the Jewish leaders too. Now, demonstrated, and there was violence. And there's nothing wrong with using violence against going who your enemies. Not only is there nothing wrong with it, it's a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah. And one of our problems is that when you're in America, you're in a country of shotguns. What do you think the Kodesh Baruch Hu told Jews when he took the Jews out of Israel? He didn't say, I now freed you, I brought down 10 Makot, 10 plagues, you're now all free, now you can go to Brooklyn, and you go to Australia, and you go to Canada. He didn't say that. He said, you're all free, and all of you are going to go to one country, Eretz Israel. Why? Because he knew that if Jews lived as a minority under Goyim, they would be influenced by their culture. And you are influenced every day by the American culture. You think that Thomas Jefferson is Yiddishkeit. But Thomas Jefferson is not Yiddishkeit. Thomas Jefferson was a Goy who said some good things and a lot of other things. Judaism is entitled. And when we come up with this nonsense, violence is not Jewish. Who said violence is not Jewish? When he said that violence is not Jewish? Show me where it says that violence is not Jewish. And I'll pay for your tickets back to America. faith for shalom. There's a time for war and a time for peace, certainly. Certainly. In last week's fellowship, the Kodesh Baruch Hu tells Moshe, take the Jews, go to war, start a war with Midian, because they started up with you. Nikom, Nikmat, B'nai Israel. Avenge them. If you come today to the average Jew and say, vengeance, is that good or something? Vengeance is not nice. Vengeance is a mitzvah. What do you mean is it nice? It's a mitzvah. Our rabbis tell us, Gidolah Nikamat. Great is vengeance. Shenitna ben shtei otiot Hashem. That's placed between the two names of the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Ken Kavod Hashem. The pasuk in Tehillim. I wrote Tehillim. I mean, I got Tehillim. I made a statement. Chazal made that statement. Gidolah Nikamat. And the Gemara asks, you need to say that vengeance, right? He says, in the proper time, yes it is. The problem with being an American Orthodox Jew, as I said before, it's a sharpness. Some wool, some linen, Torah, a little bit, American history, a little bit. And so we get mixed up with concepts. And concepts are the foundation of Judaism, not mitzvahs. First, the concept. The mitzvah reinforces the concept. The mitzvah is the outer manifestation of the inner concept. Every time that you have an inner concept and you do the mitzvah properly and consciously, you're reinforcing that concept. You don't wash hands for the sake of washing hands. There's a concept back of washing hands. You don't make some bracha just because of those words. There's a concept. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. How many people think of those words? Let's see. Who thinks of the word? Who thinks of the concept? The mitzvah is the outer manifestation of the inner concept. And if there's no inner concept, then what are you emphasizing? Then what good is the ritual? What good is the mitzvah? So of course you have to keep every mitzvah, every little one. But you have to first, and at the same time, study the concepts. And concepts are very, very different from Goyish concepts. When I hear people, Jews with quotes say, but how can you throw out the arrow? That's against the Torah. The trouble is that the average Jew wouldn't know a Torah concept if he fell over. That's the problem. Amei haaretz, burim, ignoramuses, who babble about, but the Torah says, what do they know? What do they know what the Torah says? The things that I say are not political. In Yiddishkeit, there is no such concept as politics. Yiddishkeit doesn't recognize politics. Yiddishkeit is not a religion. It's not a religion. It's a totality of life. It's not limited to the kitchen or the bedroom or the Beit Knesset. It's the kitchen and the bedroom and the Beit Knesset, and it's the government. And we have laws of kashrut and we have laws of ours. We have laws. What is the halachic status of a goy? This isn't politics. The Rambam gives you Hilchot Melachim, the laws of government. Our problem is that living in Brooklyn, who has to know the laws of the government since we don't even have a Jewish state in Brooklyn? So we become limited. We become limited to Shabbos and not even all of that. And kosher food, and a couple of other things. And finish. Eretz Yisrael. There you live Torah in its totality. There you have to know laws of Shmita, and Trumot, and Masrot, and government, and what is an Arab, and what is his status. Is he allowed to be
in halakha. Is a non-Jew allowed to live here? And if so, under what condition? And if he doesn't accept those conditions, what do we do? This is halakha. This isn't politics. This isn't politics. So I just finished briefly because I'm sure that you have questions, and I've had a long day. Believe me, being in the Knesset has got to be one of the worst jobs in the entire world. Not easy to be with approximately 80 anti-Semites every single day. And a Jewish anti-Semite is the worst. You're all young people. What is your obligation now? So first of all, your obligation is to sit and learn Torah. You can't be a good Jew without learning Torah. You cannot be. You can try to be, you can't make it. You have to have knowledge. You have to fill your automobile, gasoline. You have to sit and learn. And when you finish high school, there's no reason for you to stay here in America. You come here, you stay here, you learn it, you stay, and you don't go back. You don't go back. If your parents want you back, you have to tell them. The halakha is that if your parents tell you not to observe a mitzvah, you don't listen to them. You stay here, you learn, you get married, you don't have to go to college, there's no mitzvah to go to college. You can learn to work with your hands. You don't have to be, not every Jew has to be a doctor, or a lawyer, or a CPA. You stay here. That's it. You make a living, an honest living. You sit and learn Torah, and above all, you work for the Jewish people. That's what your obligation is, and that's what it has to be. And don't be afraid of what Goyim say about what anybody says. Only be afraid of what the Kodesh Baruch Hu says. If you know that what you're doing is right in his halakha, that's the way to do it. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Avraham Avinu was called what? Avraham HaIvri. Why was he called Avraham HaIvri? The rabbis tell us it comes from the Hebrew word Ever, which means side. Kol ha'olam amad. The whole world stood on one side, and he stood alone on the other side by himself, and he said, I'm right. Well, the whole world said, you're wrong, and he says, I'm right, and you know something, he was right. That's the way it is. Democracy doesn't prove that anybody is right. Democracy just proves that most people think a certain way, and usually they're wrong. In Jewish history, the great things that were done by a minority of people. The majority of Jews back Moshe, they backed Torah. Every time there was an opportunity to attack him, they attacked Moshe. You think a majority of Jews went with the Nevi'im? Not Pito. Not Pito. They used to kill the Nevi'im, put them to prison. The Maccabee, you think that they were a majority? That they represented most of the Jews? What are you talking about? They're a minority within a minority. So don't look and say, I think this is right, but most people say that things are wrong, so therefore it's probably wrong. It's not true. Sit and learn, and if in your learning you see that this is right, then that's the right road. And if someone tells you that things are wrong, say, fine. Why is it wrong? Show me in the halakha why it's wrong. And if he can't show it to you, it doesn't matter how many people say the thing is wrong. You're right. I'm sure that you have questions, and if I keep talking, I'm talking, just have a lot to say, but I think it'll be much, much easier if I took questions, and I'm sure that from those questions, you'll probably end up getting everything that I would have said anyway. So, are there any questions? Yes. Yeah.
Without starting a coach as a, I don't want to say anything forward.
Yeah. Certainly.
When we get up and we go ahead and fight ours, it's something that's done in retaliation to us.
Right.
It's not, as far as I understand, the Jewish concept to go and initiate a battle for no reason whatsoever. If the Arabs are sitting in their P9, their corner, in the slums of the West Bank, let them stay in the slums of the West Bank. Let them work at the garbage and the slums. Why do we have to go ahead and kick them out? And regardless that we're not allowed in their countries, why do we have to turn around and in the eyes of the rest of the world look as the bad guys, as the evil people, because we're kicking everybody out?
First of all, I hope you understand that when the Jews under Yoshua entered Eretz Canaan, that the Canaanim didn't start up with them first. I hope you recall that. So why did we start up with them? Oh, Boker Tov. So now we see that sometimes there is a mitzvah to start up with people even though they didn't start up with it, right? I mean, so now you see one example of a mitzvah in which it's a mitzvah to start up with God who didn't start up with it, right? Look, I like that. That's very, very true. Eretz Israel doesn't belong to the Arabs, or the Canaanim, or the Jews. It belongs to the Kodesh Baruch Hu. And He gave it to us, and He said, throw the Canaanim out. They didn't shepherd with you, they didn't start with you, throw them out anyhow. Unless they're willing to sit quietly. In other words, you take their country from them. And then if they're willing to accept that and sit quietly, good. How many of the Canaanim were willing to accept that quietly? A lot, you think? It says in Yoshua, very, very few. So why do we have to go? Because, as you said, it's a mitzvah. Same mitzvah today. We didn't come into this country in 1880 or 1890 as beggars. We came to take our country back. What do you think the Arabs felt about that? Good? Do you think the Arabs felt good about that? Did you expect the Arabs to sit quietly by and to watch the Jews coming into what was then Palestine and say, go right ahead, it's your country. I hope you don't have that kind of contempt for the Arabs. The Arabs believe it's their country. Like the Canaanim thought it was their country. But the Kodesh Baruch Hu said, no, it's my country, and I'm giving it to you, the Jews. See if the Arabs would like to sit here quietly and stop throwing bombs at us. That's fun. But they're not going. You've never seen a victim of a bomb. You've never seen it. You live in, I don't know where you live, in Jersey, maybe, I don't know. But certainly not here. So you live in a nice place, in a nice world, and you're a pretty nice guy. I can see that. And you think that, well, why can't we all sit down over coffee and cake and work things out together? Well, maybe that goes over in Chicago. I don't know, maybe. But it doesn't go over too well in this. This is the Middle East, not the Middle West. I mean, get that straight. Over here, they want to kill us. They want to kill us. They killed us in the 1920s before Kahana was even born. So I wasn't inciting them then. It was a little hard from up there. B'kitzur, if they want to live here peacefully under the Jews, we have an obligation to allow them to live. But if I were a betting man, which I'm not, if I were a betting man, I would bet that you won't find 10 Arabs below the age of 30 who would say, okay, I'm willing to live in this country as a non-citizen under the Jews. So they're not willing. So therefore we'll have to decide, what do we do? Let them stay here? You want them to stay here? Maybe you don't mind them living here with me because you're not going to be here. But I mind them living with me because I'm going to be here. So I don't want them here. Because I have no intention of seeing my wife driving on a bus and a bomb going off. No way. That's what the rabbi says. But if one is getting ready to slay him first. Now I'm a moderate, so I don't accept it. So I say if one comes to slay you, throw him out See, that's a moderate way. I don't hate Arabs. I just don't want them. I wish them well. 22 countries, that's a lot of countries. May they live there bis 120. May they live there well, happily, with all the blessings of God. But not my country, because I don't have 22 countries. I have only one country. And that was given to me and Jewish people by God, who also set down certain ground rules on how Goyim are allowed to live. There were certain ground rules. One of those rules is that no non-Jew can be a citizen. No non-Jew has any national rights. He has his personal rights. He has his rights. His religion, if he isn't a pagan. He has his cultural rights. He has his economic rights. I'm all for that. There's no political rights. He has nothing to say in the country. He's at best a ger toshav, a resident stranger at the very best. Yeah. That's a Jewish question. Who said that once you move here before? Who said that it's harder to keep Shabbos? I didn't say it's harder to keep Shabbos. I said it's harder to live here. But it's a big difference. It isn't harder to keep Shabbos. It's easier to keep Shabbos. But it's harder to make a living. And that's why most Jews don't come here. And not because of Shabbos. Not because of Shabbos. In the worst city in Israel, the Shabbos is kept more publicly than in boroughs. I've yet to hear of the buses stopping running in boroughs. Even in Haifa, the buses run on a skeleton schedule, Shabbat. What I said was that it's harder to live here to make a living. That's why the Orthodox Jew doesn't do it.
My second question is,
You're right. I don't know why. I don't know why. You're right. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I would suggest to you that that's the kind of a question that you have to pose to rabbis who are living in America and ask them, why don't you go? Ask them that. Don't ask me. To me, it's a clear mitzvah to live here. Ask other rabbis why they don't go. I mean, don't ask me. Ask them, because it's a good question. You have a good question. And I have no answer for it, because I can't answer for other people. If I didn't go on Aliyah, you would ask me, why don't you go? And then I would have to answer. But I can't answer for other people. I can't answer why the yeshiva world did not go out and demonstrate for Russian Jews. I can't answer that. I don't know. I don't know why in the Shulchan Aruch, in Hilchos Shabbos, there's a halakha psuka. It says that if a Jew on Shabbos hears that a Jew has been kidnapped for the purpose of taking from Yiddishkeit, that he has to violate Shabbos, even in a mitzvah from the Torah, in the Raisa, he must do it, and there are more adds that if he doesn't want to, because he's very, very frugal, the Bezdin forced him. I don't know why. If you're talking about 3 million Russian Jews, who if they stayed inside Russia are going to be lost to us as Yid, I don't know why in the yeshiva world they don't realize. So don't go out on Shabbos, go out on a Sunday. So I don't know why. I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions. A lot of heavy questions to which I have not got answers. So you have a very, very good question. Don't ask me. That's what. So I'm telling you to go ask those who are alive. Ask them. Don't because I don't know what. I don't know. I really don't. Yeah.
It says that we should live by the mitzvahs.
Live by the mitzvahs. That's the only way to live.
And the Shumas and the Rashi says that out of Eretz Yisrael, not only would it probably provoke an attack, but it would also stop sympathy of other nations towards Israel.
First of all, I want to ask something. Rather first, tell you something. Certainly that there is a general cloud for the prophet, the individual Jew. That a Jew should live by the mitzvot and not die by them. Therefore, you have to violate Shabbos and a sakanas. Nevertheless, even for the prophet, even for the yachid, even for the individual, there are 3 mitzvot that you have to violate, that you have to die rather than violate them all. But more than that, any mitzvah in which there is a chilul Hashem, even the smallest minhag, the Gemara says, the Rambam brings down, even the smallest minhag, if it involves a chilul Hashem, you have to sacrifice your life and rather than violate it. When it comes to Klal Yisrael, the Klal, this doesn't hold true what you say. We know that in Yiddishkeit, in Torah, there's a concept known as a milchemet mitzvah, which means at certain times it is a mitzvah to go to war. Now you know that if you go to war, sometimes people get killed. It's known to happen. War is not a safe thing. It's kind of dangerous. And yet, there is a milchemet mitzvah. There is such a concept that sometimes you have to go to war. And the Rambam, it's actually in the Gemara, in Yerushalmi, brings down, the Rambam brings down, in Hotel, I think, very well. He brings down what is a milchemet mitzvah. He brings down 3 categories. Milchemet Zayin Amin, and Amalek, that's 2, and 3, any time that there is a danger that the enemy comes and goes to war against the Jewish people, that is a milchemet mitzvah in which you are obligated to go to war. Now, the Rambam makes it clear that when the enemy comes to take land from you, that is considered a threat of a milchemet mitzvah. You see it very, very clearly in the story of the Tanakh. Yiftach, Hagiladi. Remember Yiftach? Everybody learns at least Shoftim. Usually people reach the Nevi'im and they stop learning really not, but at least Shoftim. In Yiftach was the Shofet of his time, right? He was the judge of his, they were the governor of his time. Remember the story that Ammon went to war against the Israel. And what did they want? They sent a message to Yiftach that he should give back the east bank of the Jordan. Not the west, not Shechem and Hebron and Yudav. Give back the east bank, where Jordan is today. And then he said, Hashiva eten b'shalom. If you give us that, there'll be peace. Now, what would you say if you were a great governor? Give me back the East Bank. What's the difference? We'll still have the whole West Bank. And we'll have peace. Yiftach said no. He said that which Kamosh, Elohim, your idol, your pesach, Kamosh, gave you, that's what he gives you. That which the Kodesh Baruch Hu gave us, and he gave us that Sichon and hope, that's ours. And he went to war. So, all of this is about Torah. Everything is, the main thing is not to be killed. That's not true. It's not true. First of all, that's only partially true for the prophet, and never true for the Klal. Never. Finally, on the day that you stop worrying about Goyim, the Mashiach will start to come. Because emunah, faith, means understanding that the Kodesh Baruch Hu is stronger than Mount Rebbe. And the trouble is that the average Jew doesn't think so. the average Jew who davens 3 times a day and says, Hakel, Hagadol, Hagibor, Hanorah, Kev, El Yom, when he finishes davening, he'll say, but you have to be careful about breaking. So let me tell you something. On the day that Eden have faith and real trust and believe that if they do what the Kodesh Baruch Hu says, that Kodesh Baruch Hu is stronger than Reagan, on that day the Mashiach starts to come. Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
You said before about Allah value of life.
And what?
Allah value of life. Now, you can say that when we have a religious state, what we have now is a Jewish state. So you can't take action against them.
Take action against action against who?
Against the Arabs. You can't say that they have no right to be here because it's a Jewish state and the state law says that they're allowed to hear we are not allowed to take violence against them.
Obviously you're right. What I'm saying is that when I become the Prime Minister, it'll be a different story. That's what I'm saying.
So what I'm saying is, first we should work on getting the state religious state, then we should worry about Arabs.
My friend, by the time that happens, you'll be dead. You start working on a true state in all its angles. Part of a religious state is a state which doesn't have Arabs. A state which only keeps Shabbos and lets the Arabs stay will be violating the Torah. So therefore, it'll be easier for me to convince a majority of people in this country to throw the Arabs than to convince them to keep Shabbos. Believe me. I mean, I speak every single night before rallies all over the country. So certainly I want them. I want every Jew here to keep Shabbos. And I want a Torah state. And please God, there will be one. But one of the ways that I will get this, and one of the ways that I'll get secular Jews to vote for me, is by touching upon the issue which to them is most important. The one issue that bothers most Jews in this country is their survival. The Arabs bother. People here are worried about it. They're not worried about Shabbos. Unfortunately. But the way to get them to let me force them to keep Shabbos or convince them to keep Shabbos is for them to support me on an issue which they really believe, the Arab issue.
Don't you think that our survival is more at stake if we bought the Arabs?
The what?
Our survival is more at stake if we bought the Arabs.
Absolutely. Our survival is physical and spiritual, both. It's both. It's both things. The reason why in the Torah state, in the time of Yoshua, there was an army. It's because ain't something. Next, you don't just trust in a miracle. You have to also do things. An army, police, you have to do things. Plus, you have to daven mincha. I mean, without mincha, nothing goes. But if you just daven mincha and then say, Moshe, now you take care of it, that's not the Jewish way either. The Jewish way is daven. You do the mitzvahs, and then you go out and do the job. And then he'll help you. It's a two-way street. It isn't a one-way street. So certainly, but in practicality, take it from me, in practicality, it's 100,000 times more difficult to convince the average Jew in this city over here, in the Tanya, to keep Shabbat than to back Kahana in throwing out the Arabs. If you would have seen that crowd there tonight, you must have easily 1,000 people. And cheer. Now, they won't cheer somebody who just talks about Shabbos. Unfortunately. That's a tragedy. I agree with you. Oh, tragedy. You can't change them overnight. And if they come to support me on the Arab issue, they're also supporting me, whether they not know it or don't know it, when I have power. I don't have only platform dealing with the Arab issue. Platform that deals with Shabbat and deals with the school system here and what's going to be taught and anti-missionary who's a Jew. And they're going to get everything. I mean, if they get Kahana, they get all the Kahana. And the way they'll be willing to do that is if I can come to them on the most important issue in their minds, and that's the Arabs. Yeah.
You said that before that you wanted to kick out all the Arabs out of Israel. They don't abide by the rules.
Right.
So, and then before that you said that there are a lot of Jews in Knesset and in all of Israel that are one of the biggest anti-Semites. It caused a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So what do you expect to do with that?
Nothing. First of all, they're in the Knesset now. In the next election, there's going to be a big change. There's going to be a big change. Many of these fellows are going to be out. There's a very positive change taking place today in the country. And we expect to be, we expect to be the third largest party in this next Knesset. And the balance of power, there will not be any government, any good government, if not for God. And we have the Meir, which, we're going to make. Our biggest hope is the fact that the young people in Israel, those people who are now in their young teens, and who are not voters yet, but the election after this coming, they can vote. That whole section, they don't know Bacon, they only know God. And you watch some of these rallies and you see why in the election after this coming, we have a shot at being the number one party. Because of the whole generation of young Jews, mostly Spartans, who make up today the majority of Israel's thank God, because they're normal. That's our great hope. That's our great hope. I would promise.
You mentioned before that it was a mitzvah to chase out the Arabs.
Yes. I said it's a mitzvah to offer them. It's a mitzvah to offer them the right to stay here as non-citizens. And they don't have That's a war against nations. This isn't a war. We control the country. What do you think you are, Brooklyn? This is a Jewish state. We have the army. If I have the army, we'll get the Arabs out of here in 3 days. You're talking a war? It's a joke. There isn't a war. There's a mitzvah. Aside from all wars, aside from the concept of what is a Mechemet mitzvah, there's a question of if there was one guy in this country, he's not allowed to be here unless he accepts those terms. It isn't a question of how many have there. It's a question from the point of view of halakha, what is the status of even one guy in this country? He must be allowed to stay here if he accepts those terms. Then we must allow him to stay. And we must treat him properly. And we must treat him with kindness. And must treat him with justice. Just like the Jew. But he's in a sense, he has nothing to say. He sits quiet. If he doesn't accept that, even if one does, he can't say it. Yeah.
I find that next 2 days, by the Churban Beis Hamikdash, we find that there was Biryonim, they were the young generation who decided to take the law into their own hand. And during the siege, they burnt down the 2021. They burnt down the storehouses, and we find Rabbi Yochanan Zaka. What they wanted to do was they wanted to go out and fight. We should go out and fight. What right do the Romans have to take away our land? And we find that Rabbi Yochanan Zaka, the Gemara condemns them. The Gemara goes ahead and condemns them. They shouldn't have done it. But these are the same people that wanted to go out and fight and avoid that the Romans should not take away their land. My question to you is, in what way do you differ?
First of all, 70 years later, Rabbi Akiva took his 24,000 students and told them to go fight the Romans with Barkov. He was also wrong. He was a Burion. How come he said that? So let me tell you, you don't find anywhere in the Gemara that Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was opposed to fighting the Romans at the beginning. No. When he turned against the Yunim was when he suddenly saw that not only were they fighting the Romans, they were killing each other. There was a civil war. Asinas Achi. Asinas China. That's when Rabbi Yochanan and Zakkai protested the war. And had I been living there, I would have done exactly the same. That's no way to win a war. The Kodesh Baruch Hu would never help Jews that turn on other Jews and kill other people. That's for sure. That's for sure. But we see two places in the Gemara in which there were similar events. Time of Ashur and Chizkiyahu. Gemara in Sanhedrin. Ashur came and attacked Yerushalayim. And Shebna was the head of the Sanhedrin. He said we should surrender. And pigs was surrender. And they took a vote. Gemara says they took a vote, 130,000 to 110,000 voted with Shebna. And Chizkiyahu said, maybe the Eibusher wants me to follow the rule. Rabbi came to me and said, Al-Tomat Kesher, L'chol Asher Yom Ha'am Kesher. Don't think that because there was this Kesher, confederation, and they voted, Kesher Rishayim Eino Kesher, it says. It isn't counted. Those votes are not counted. And he was told, you don't surrender. You don't surrender. Fight. Akiva also, and had Barkov not suddenly changed also in the middle with Gaiva, and Barkov drove the Romans out of Eretz Yisrael. Then he said to Gaiva, if the Kodesh Baruch Hu won't help me, at least don't help the Romans, and I'll take care of it. As soon as he said that, Akiva said, come on, shalom, that's it. Don't find that. Of course, fighting that is a rule. Had the Dionim listened, and the rabbi, and fought the war properly, in the proper way, who knows what might have happened. But certainly what they did, had I been there, I would have been before Rabbi Yochanan and Zakkai. I would have said, this cannot win. We can't win this one. It's impossible. Of course I would have been against it. For sure, definitely so. Yeah.
Yes, with the Rambam, why Reb Shach and Reb Moshe knew the Rambam very, very well? How come they did not support other organizations like the JDL? Again, they did know better than you did, I would think.
I'll answer you the same thing. Don't ask me why Rav Shach passed away. If I want to know why Rav Shach says something, I do a logical thing. I go ask Rav Shach. You want to know why Rabbi Kahana says something? You do what you just did. You ask me why I think a certain thing, and I'll answer you. I can't answer for Rav Shach. Just like I can't answer for Gedolim, who feel that there should not be a Jewish state period. I assume that you probably think that there should be a Jewish state. I assume there are many that think that a Jewish state before the Messianic era is not allowed to be. What's the big shock here? The big surprise when he looks around, stunned. I don't know where you've been. Most of the Gedolim are against Zionism, period. I don't know if you have a TV set in your home. Probably one Gadol that thinks you should. And I'll tell you your passing back. So, before you ask questions, why does Rav before you ask me a question, why does Rashak say or don't say? Ask him. And while you're asking about Rashak, ask him about your television set too.
It's in our homeland right now. We're throwing these tanks 5,000 years ago. What is it that's causing us not to be in Israel? Is it the Arabs who run rackets, or is it our own sins? We find a dummy, like we so often like to quote, that when the Jews having problems from other foreign kings oppressing them, it wasn't the strong political figure that led a strong battle and overturned the other king. They always turned to the broken old man with a beard who brought them back to Tshuva. And then, only then did Hashem help them win back the land.
I don't know what color beard on the Yoshua had, or the Shoftim had, and you don't either. You don't know either. Who said that Jews with long white beards were not fighters? David, I assume David had a beard.
Red one.
I assume that when he was 27 and he killed Goliath, he wasn't white yet. And I assume that when he led the battles against the Plishtim, when he was in his 30s, it still hadn't turned white. Maybe if he had to deal with the kinds of Jews that I have to deal with, it would have turned white sooner, maybe. But what does a white beard have to do with anything? And who says that a Matisyo didn't have a white beard and he didn't fight the Greeks, right? No. He just sat down a little bit, right? What are you talking about? Your basic problem is that the only rabbis that you know are unfortunately rabbis who are not in the mold of what the Gedolim once were. Shaul HaMelech was a Gadol, Ham Bedin. He went out to war, too. David went out to war. The Shoftim went out to war. Who do you think the Shoftim were? Generals from West Point? They were Gedolim, and they fought too. The problem is that when you're in the Golas, you become mortal. The only place to be normal for a Jew is in Eretz Israel. So over here, you live a normal life, a totality of Jewishness. If you're in some ghetto in Poland, clearly you're living. Certainly you're right. And everything changes. Torah is narrowed into a religion. Torah is not a religion. Torah is a way of life, a totality. David HaMelech would wake up at midnight with his kino, wake him up, sitting on a Torah all day, and then he'd say, okay, let's go out and kill Goliath. That's a good. That's the way it always was. We had 2 or 3 more countries besides. Hard day. Hard day. Yeah.
Rabbi, you quoted before the pasuk in Shmon Esrei, Hakel HaGadol HaGibor V'Hanora Hakel HaYon. That Hashem is the all-powerful, Hashem is in control of everything, is the omnipotent, right? He is omnipotent. Right? The all-powerful. I think we've seen several Nisim. I mean, there's absolutely no logical reason, I think you'll agree, that the small band of fighters in 1948 compared with 5 fully armed regular armies of Arab nations who came to attack Israel. Why we're still here, I have no idea. I think there's only one reason. I think it was a nace. And I think the Nisim have to continue for us to continue to still be here. I think the Nisim are still there. I think that for us, in 1948, what were the only planes that the Sherut Avir first had? They were Messerschmitts. The same planes that the Germans tried to use to annihilate us were the ones we were using to defend ourselves. I think that's a nace right there. I think it was a nace when we got the French to help us. The French, who have now proven to be tremendous anti-Semites. They found their reasons to sell us weapons, and we found our ways to use those weapons to survive. I think that the Americans, the United States of America, filled with anti-Semites, and thank God filled with Jews in powerful enough places, can now send us billions of dollars in aid, economic and military. I think that's a nace there. I think that if we cut that nace off by shooing the Arabs out, by when you, Bezras Hashem, become prime minister, by their skirting off to Jordan on trucks, out of fear, out of awe, I think that when we sever the line of money, military and economic, coming from America, I think that we're cutting off our own nace. And I think that is what's meant by Hakel HaGadol HaGibor V'Hanora Hakel HaYon. That's what's happening right now, and that's what we're witnessing right now. Not what will happen after we do something, as you suggest.
Now sit down and learn something. And all of you people that clap can learn something. Because I haven't heard so much nonsense in one city in a long, long time. I learned something. In 1948, the United States government withdrew its support of the partition plan, cut off all aid to Israel. Secretary of State Marshall threatened Israel that if it created a Jewish state, then America would not help it. And under your kind of reason, they should have said, "You're right, you won't create a state." But because they didn't listen to America, thank God, and because they didn't listen to this kind of nonsense, because of that, they went to war. There was a nest because of that. Miracles don't just happen. Miracles happen because Jews deserve it. So we went to war, and weren't afraid. That's why the miracle came. That's one. We can't now. I'm not finishing. This has to be made up. Two. What's the difference between 1967 and 1973 war? 1967, we won a war in 6 days. Lost a minimal amount of people. 73, bloody, we were almost beat. It was a horrible war. What was the difference? The difference was that in 67, we didn't listen to anybody. We struck the first blow. We didn't care what the world was saying. Not kind of aid, not kind of money, and so on and so forth. We started that war. Thank God. We didn't wait for them to start it. Thank God. In 73, we had people like Golda Meir, who will not be ever forgiven for that horror she did. And Moshe Dayan, who were warned the day before that tomorrow there's a war. It wasn't a surprise. No one was full of surprise. It was nonsense. They knew it was coming, and she said, "We can't start it because America has to know that we didn't start it, because otherwise they won't know it." We lost 4,000 soldiers because of that sick kind of thinking. The worst thing that can happen to us is for America to keep giving us money. It's like a junkie today. We get our annual shot, $3 billion. This a sick country, no economy. It's a basket case here. It was always for pushing. Give us money. You want a strong country, a powerful country, it has to learn to stand on its own feet. You don't take charity. The day that I'm Prime Minister, we automatically cut off economic aid. I don't want money from America. We're going to tighten our belts here. We're going to stop importing colored TVs and German cars, and we'll learn to work here, and to work hard, and to have industry and private capital and investment. That's how a country is strong. We are a protectorate today. Everything that we do, Washington says yes or no, and we give in. Last week, in 1 week, 5 issues, Washington said no, and we said no on the Black Hebrews, on the Arab citizens from the U.S. coming here, on South Africa, issue after issue. There's a high commissioner here called the U.S. ambassador. I don't want their money. Their money doesn't help us, because their money gives them the leverage. What happens tomorrow when Reagan says you either give up the West Bank or you don't get money? So you're going to say, where's the money? If I'm the Prime Minister, he'll be told to shove his money. And that's called faith. You people now learn a lesson and stop clapping for stupid things. Yes. What?
No comparison. Why is there any difference between you and Torah?
I'm sorry.
Why is there any difference? No comparison between you and Torah. Torah also was the smart mistake in Torah, but he didn't listen to Gedon. Gedon said that he shouldn't kick out the Arabs. So why should he kick out the Arabs?
Either I didn't hear you clearly, or you know.
Torah, learn the Torah.
Yeah, the Torah. Yeah.
Right now, it's just hold on. But he didn't listen to Gedon. What Gedon said. So why do you have any different? All the people say that the Arabs should say. So why should they say?
I'm getting deaf when I'm in this area.
Why don't you do Tikdon? Tikdon, they say. Who? Tikdon, they said.
What Gedolim? Every single Gadol differs with every other Gadol. Name me one issue that Rav Shach does not differ with the Ger Rebbe, the Babitcher Rebbe. What do you think Gedolim? Excuse me a second. If you don't know what Rav Shach says, or what this one says, there are Gedolim today. There's no Sanhedrin, there are Gedolim. And they differ on major issues with each other. Babitcher Rebbe thinks that the Arabs should be thrown out. And Rav Shach doesn't. So you have your Gadol. You have your Gadol. You don't have your Gedolim. You have your Gadol. And if you learn in Punim, if you were learning today in Punim, and all the Gedolim in the world said one thing, and Rav Shach stood alone and said the opposite, you would follow Rav Shach because you're in front of it, and he's your Rav. You don't follow Gedolim, you follow a Gadol. You're a Gadol. So don't talk about Gedolim, because they're split down the middle on almost every issue. To give up land, not to give up land. To throw the Arabs out, not to throw the Arabs out. There are tremendous differences. So if you want to talk about one Gadol, that's one Gadol. Others differ with him. Today there is no Sanhedrin. The Belzer, of course, it follows the Belzer. He doesn't follow Rav Shach. Is yes, his Gadol. Rav Shach is not my Gadol. I have my Rav that it's my Gadol that it's the Rav Rashi. And I ask him.
And also, about what you said about people sitting and learning, why aren't all your JDL, why aren't they sitting and learning instead of going around the streets?
What is JDL run?
Why is the JDL running around the streets collecting money? Shouldn't they be listening and learning?
I think that all Jews should be in Israel. I think that all Jews should be in Israel. I think that if Jews are not in Israel, they should be sitting and learning Torah. And all other mitzvahs. You don't think it's a mitzvah to help out Jews? You don't think it's a mitzvah to help out Jews? Why do you stop that? Why do you stop learning in yeshiva to daven mincha? It's a mitzvah to also daven mincha, right? It's a mitzvah to help out Jews too. So people should sit and learn Torah, and also should demonstrate to the Russian Jews. That's a mitzvah too. So hopefully,
is there a mitzvah to sit on the
Let me take one more question. This time is really yeah.
Do you feel that in order for Eretz Yisrael to become a religious state, you have to kick out all the Arabs?
No, I didn't say that. I said that. That's one aspect. One aspect.
You said either the Arabs have to shut up and listen to us, or they have to get out of here for this to become a religious state. And how can you explain all the Jews in Russia who show more emunah, more faith than most of the Jews here? How can you explain that they survive in a country where it's filled with people who treat the Jews worse than the Arabs treat us here?
What does that have to do with Russia as a Jewish state? A Jewish state?
So it totally contradicts the concept that we need the Arabs out here for this to become a religious state.
What do the Russian Jews in the Soviet Union have to do with
They can survive. They can survive religiously without...
They survive as individual Jews, not as a Jewish state, not as a Polish state. So you can be a full-blown Jew, personally, but you're not going to have a Jewish Polish state unless it follows the Jewish Polish state laws. What does that have to do with the Russian Jews? A Jew can have faith and tremendous, it's a wonderful thing, and he is, as an individual, a wonderful Jew. But he hasn't read a Torah state. He's read a Torah Jew. It's wonderful, but it isn't a Torah state. I'm sorry, really, it's been a long day. Sorry, thank you.
No, there's none there.
Remember the lady who died yesterday?
Yeah, heard in the news. On this trip.
Through the window. Wait! Press the button!
Straight down. It's going to change.
I'll throw it like that.
Coming down.
Where you put it?
Good view? Nice.
Awesome.
There we go. Okay, you found a friend down here? See? Huh? Okay. So say hello to him, shake his hand. Say shalom. You don't even say shalom to him.
I just want to take a picture.
Just a picture, huh? you. But there ain't nothing right here. There's a little baby crying. There's a lot of them.
How'd you enjoy that inside there, huh?
What?
How was it in there?
Pretty good.
Great.
Very nice. Hey, what you doing there, Ellie?
I looked at all the views. It was very, very nice.
Did you look at all the views too?
Yeah, they were beautiful.
What'd you see?
Different caves.
What's your
and
name?
Things. Abby Beach.
Where you come from, Abby?
Staten Island.
Staten Island? Are you in a choir or something?
Yes.
Which one?
Miami Voice Choir.
Have fun?
Yeah.
Great. How was it down there?
It was okay.
Right?
Yes.
What'd you see there, Ellie?
I saw water.
Water? You can see that in camp too.
I saw a cave. I saw this very cold cave water. It's very beautiful water. Clear crystals. It wasn't the 9 days and I never been to like this.
Through it yet?
Yeah.
How was
Very
it?
interesting.
Yeah, what was there? What did you see?
I saw water and I saw the caves. that went through the whole mountain, which
Yes.
was very interesting to see, and it was very
Beautiful?
yeah, nice, very nice,
That's good.
and it was pretty
Exciting.
right, exactly.
Where do we go now?
Right there.
To the pair? Put it this way.
Yo, move up.
Okay. Hey, what's up? Hey, hi, what's up?
I don't know.
I'm very excited.
This is the last card. This is the last card.
Just one more.
Bill.
What do you have to go?
How'd you enjoy it, Danny?
Fine.
Great down there?
Yeah.
How about you, Stephen?
Great.
Had a good time there? Excuse me.
That's my English name.
So what's your even name?
Sure.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Official.
What do you say, Maisha? Look at this for the camera. Tell something for the camera, Maisha.
I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at the ocean. Why do you have to look at the camera?
Beautiful down there?
Hey, Liz. Smart. Smart boy.
למה? צריך להכניס כסף,
לא כדאי,
לכמה זמן? אני מכניס, כדאי לי.
לא כדאי, אני אגיד לך למה, אתה לא מכניס את זה? מה זה
No, my cousin.
אסור לצלם כאן. אסור לצלם כאן.
מי אמר? אין פה כתוב.
אז אני אמרתי לך אסור.
No photograph.
אוקיי, תודה רבה. היום בית המקצ'יסט.
That trip down the hill today, guys. Fun?
I don't know.
What's the question?
Are the boys left?
I don't know.
You don't have...
طب احكي تمام
to eat in there? Really?
Falafel.
Falafel? You like falafel?
Mm-hmm.
Good lunch, falafel?
Yeah, but it's falling apart.
Falling apart. Let me see it fall apart. You gotta know how to eat it without it falling apart, or...
I don't think there's a hole.
He's waiting.
The ball is 5 feet back to tell you never out.
There goes my finger.
Oh, we can drop your sugar.
Like the falafel there, Jace?
Yeah, it's good.
Good? Like it better than sandwiches?
Yeah.
All right. Hara, how's the show go, Hara? Huh?
What?
How's the show go?
Good.
Like Shoko's?
I'm not squeezing.
Allie, hitchhike! Isn't that Rabbi Title Homes? It's a nice home. Nice. How much is it going to cost? Look at Sony. Program?
Show us something? Yeah?
They do concerts.
From right here, I could get along with Rabbi Meri.
It's good, it's good.
Right over here.
These falafels are great.
Last night.
Falafels are great.
Think so?
Yeah.
I just got doing mine
How many did you eat?
and I'm going to have another one.
Ten falafel balls.
Anything to get your face.
All right, how do you like falafel?
It's good.
Good stuff?
But yeah.
Hi, Mom. Ow.
I know, so I know what I'm saying.
No, you're on video.
What? Really bad. What is
The joke about
Sure. Guys, strawberry jam.
Yeah.
Got it. Good. Come on, bite.
Shut up. He's a good guy.
Let me. I'm a mean person. I'm mean, fighting machine.
Topsy, how's the falafel?
Good.
Yeah? David, what are you eating, David? I can't see. Huh? Falafel? Huh? Or peanut butter?
Why do you appetite?
Yeah, what's the name?
What?
What do you wash?
No. You like peanut butter sandwiches?
Huh?
You like peanut butter? How do you like the falafel?
It's good.
Good? Yeah. Better than yeshiva lunches?
Yeah. We have to get used to it. We have to. Hey, how you doing?
Where are you from, Wilson?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn? What are you eating? Let me show me what you're eating there behind your back. What are you hiding? I saw you hiding something. You like falafel?
Yeah.
Why do you like falafel? Is you Sephardi? Where's your father from?
Yemen.
No.
South Yemen.
Yemenite? Yeah, are you enjoying the camp? Really much? What do you like most about camp? What do you like most?
Trips.
Trips? I love the trips. How about the kids in camp? Nice kids?
Yeah.
And the counselors? You really think they're good?
Yes.
You like to swim?
Huh?
You like to swim?
Take a picture of him.
Where are you from?
We met each other at camp. We're very good friends.
You made good friends with Ari? You like him? Where's he from?
LA.
Yeah, not anymore.
Well, he's going back next year.
You make a lot of friends at camp?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Good kids?
Yeah.
Are they as nice as the Jersey boys? Huh?
No, it's okay. It's better. Yeah. Maybe even better.
Good to make new friends all the time?
Of course.
Are you going to write Uri after the summer?
Gives me his address.
You don't think he'll give you his address, Uri? What's your address, Uri?
15 over 20. Disney Street, Jerusalem.
Okay, so you better write it. Now you hear it, right?
Yeah, I do.
And you're going to give me your...
You're not even going to write. You're just going to tell me you're going to write. I know you're going to. Next Thursday. You like shooting? You ever get target practice?
Guys, you guys drank all the shokos and you didn't leave us any.
Jordan.
What does he teach you?
By the way,
Who's chocolate?
What grade are you in school?
8th.
What does he teach you?
I have 9 of them.
9 teachers?
Yeah.
How come?
9 different subjects.
Are you the best in the class or the worst?
Middle.
Middle?
On the middle.
A good yeshiva?
Yeah, it's okay.
What yeshiva is it?
It's Alvin Academy in Providence, New Jersey.
Alright, you glad you came to Israel this summer?
Well, to tell you the truth, I came to Israel 5 years ago, and I didn't like it then, but now I like it even better.
You never
Now
liked it
that's
before?
What?
You didn't like it last time?
No, not 5 years ago, not 7 years ago.
Why?
I just didn't like it then. Now this camp totally made me change my mind totally.
Well, how's that?
I don't know, I just like it now. I enjoy going on buses, I enjoy walking around buying things.
Good. Hope you have a great time.
Yep.
You want to come back? Sure?
Next year.
We'll let you.
Mr. Shem.
Nice to meet you.